ArmorPoxy High-Performance Polyaspartic System Installation Guide. Are you in a time crunch to coat your floor? Looking for a chemical and abrasion-resistant coating? You can change all of that with the ArmorPoxy Fast-Drying Polyaspartic Coating Kit. A high-performance commercial-grade 2-layer polyaspartic coating system for indoor or outdoor use with all the materials included. Best of all, you can easily apply by yourself in hours. We'll show you how. Please take a minute to read the instructions for additional information along with the tips to make your new floor turn out perfect. The most critical step in this process is to have a clean, well-prepared surface, free of debris, oil-curing compounds, sealers, and loose paints. Even new concrete must be clear to remove dirt, dust, and salts that form as concrete cures. After emptying the space, scrape or sand off any surface debris, such as putty, paint, oil, or dirt, so that the surface is smooth and even. If floor has previous paint on it, we recommend grinding the coating off with a mechanical grinder. You can use a hose with a nozzle or a pressure washer to flush the entire area. Make sure you remove all the dirt and debris from the floor. Add the citric acid powder to water in a pail and mix. This mix is 2 pounds of citric acid to 4 gallons of water. Wash the floor with a hose or pressure washer. While wet, spread your etching solution over the area to be coated. Use a broom and scrub the surface. You may notice some slight foaming or bubbling, which is normal. For extremely dirty floors, you may need to repeat this step and use a wire brush. Pressure wash to rinse concrete etch off. Wait for floor to dry overnight. Set up a mixing station for your project. You can use a tarp, garbage bag, or cardboard to protect any surface you're mixing on. Fill in any cracks by using the 2-part crack filler offered by ArmorPoxy. Mix the A and B and use a putty knife to push the crack repair. Push the putty into the cracks and smooth out. You can apply the polyaspartic on immediately after, even if the cracks are still curing. Using masking tape or duct tape, mask any areas you don't want coated, such as perimeter edges around the room and beyond where the garage door comes down. Assemble 18-inch roller frame and roller pad on a painter's pole. Assemble the squeegee by sliding the metal frame in and turning the knob. ArmorPoxy's Polyaspartic is a 2-component, 1-to-1 mix ratio, 85% solids types polyaspartic coating, high-performance polyaspartic. It requires thorough mixing of Part A and Part B components for the material to properly harden. Mixing can be done provided by the mixing sticks included in the kit or a medium-speed electric power drill with the metal mixer included in the kit. Any quantity can be mixed as long as the 1-to-1 mix ratio is followed. Note the 2 containers we provide have gallon metrics on the containers so you can pour out the correct amount. You can also use a measuring cup to measure accordingly. Begin by lightly shaking the Part A container to make sure any pigments that settle at the bottom are mixed evenly in the polyaspartic. Pour 1 part of the contents of Part A into the bucket and mix the Part A contents with a power drill and metal mixer to make sure all the pigments are mixed evenly. Pour 1 part of Part B into the bucket and begin mixing. We recommend mixing no more than half of the contents of each A and B in a bucket and then applying to the floor immediately. Repeat a second time to avoid pre-hardening and having to rush through the project. Mix the components together for 2 to 3 minutes, not any longer. Move the mechanical mixer up and down and along the sides of the bucket and through the contents while spinning so that you get all of the material mixed, not just the material at the bottom. When mixing A and B together, you may notice that veins appear. These veins should be 100% gone, which is another indication of complete mixing. Be sure to scrape the sides of the bottom of the containers so that all the material is properly mixed. Improperly mixed polyaspartic may not fully harden or may show color variations when applied. After the components are mixed together, you have approximately 10 to 20 minutes of working time to coat the floor at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not mix in direct sunlight and keep the coatings out of the sun to keep cooler. Use the small disposable paintbrush to cut in around the edges. Pour the polyaspartic in small amounts on the floor and spread with the 18-inch roller or squeegee. If you use the squeegee, you can push the polyaspartic around and then back roll the polyaspartic with the 18-inch roller. You can use the spiked shoes while applying the polyaspartic. It's important not to drag your feet wearing the spiked shoes so you don't create scratches on the wet floor. You can use a left to right pattern rolling the polyaspartic out, working diligently and quickly to avoid premature hardening. The polyaspartic kit can be installed as a solid color or with the decorative flakes included in the kit. If you use decorative flakes, coat a small area and then apply the flakes. Wait 4 to 10 hours for the floor to dry. Temperature may impact curing time. After the polyaspartic has dried and is dry enough to walk on, you can apply the clear polyaspartic 2-part top coat to the floor. The ArmorPoxy polyaspartic top coat is a top coat that provides significant durability, UV protection, and shine. Open the clear Part A and Part B containers. We recommend mixing half of the Part A and Part B and pour into the bucket. Mix 1 pack of non-skid additive for each gallon to make the floor non-slippery. Mix at a 1-to-1 ratio. Mix the non-skid in with the mixing stick provided in the kit or metal mixer with power drill. Mix for a minute until the white powder is dissolved in the top coat. Pour polyaspartic and roll it with our 18-inch roller pad or squeegee. You can use the paintbrush to cut around the edges. Wait for the floor to dry overnight. At 75 degrees Fahrenheit, the high-performance polyaspartic should need 12 to 24 hours before opening the area to foot traffic and 48 hours for vehicular traffic depending on temperature. Extreme temperatures and humidity levels can speed up curing times. ArmorPoxy's polyaspartic kit is easy to maintain through periodic mopping with non-bleach household detergent solution and rinsing with clear water.